Hello and welcome to my channel Health and Wellness with Emma Mentel. You'll see that I'm in a different setting. Today this is in the central Drakensberg of KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa, in an absolutely picturesque and stunningly beautiful place to spend a few days. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, thank you also for your comments on my posts and letting me know what resonates for you and what you are finding supportive. I thought I would make this video today to talk about resetting after Easter weekend. Easter week or Easter weekend can, for many of us, be quite a change in routine. People go away, they eat differently, and of course, very often there's quite a lot of sugar and carb involved in the form of Easter eggs, hot cross buns, and I don't know where you are in the world and what your particular cultural preferences are, but it is very common for those who try and look at the low-carb lifestyle and at some fasting and cutting out gluten especially, to find festive times, especially something like Easter, to be quite disruptive. I've had some of my fasting participants comment today to say that they feel it's been a little bit of a downward spiral for them, that they felt they were doing so well by the end of last year, and then came Christmas, and then came, the start of 2024, and then came Easter and everything else going around in the heavens and the metaphysical scenes around us, and some of them have felt that it has impacted quite deeply for them on being on track with their health. I'd love to know where you are at and what you find challenging about cleaning up your eating, especially if you've been trying to avoid sugar, gluten, a lot of the carbs like the biscuits and the cakes and the pastas and the potatoes. And to let me know if you are struggling to get back to your routine. I know for me personally, there are times when it is a very human thing to grab an Easter egg or a hot cross bun and to want to enjoy what other people enjoy and to sort of just face the consequences afterwards. But in today's video, I thought I will just make a few quick mentions of ways to get back on track. See what resonates for you. The first thing, of course, is to just get over it. We can't get stuck in that guilt and that self-punishment and in that self-loathing when you have gone and enjoyed certain foods that perhaps you have been avoiding for some time. So let it go. It doesn't mean that you will just continue to choose the foods that you feel cause health concerns for you, but that as soon as it's done, to make that something of the past. You can journal about it, you can have a conversation about it, and then you can decide that it's time to start again. In my last video, I mentioned the death and rebirth, so put it down and start again. The second tool that you can use and that I find very helpful is to just refocus on the nourishing foods that support blood sugar balance. One of them will be protein. So your eggs, free-range eggs, steak or chicken, even the organ meats, adequate protein in all 3 meals or 2 meals, if you only eat 2 meals, will help with blood sugar support and then combine that with some of the good fats like butter or ghee, coconut oil, olive oil, even MCT oil, and then a diversity of vegetables and salads. So as soon as you refocus on the foods that stabilize blood sugar and satiety, the cravings will be less. The third tip that I can mention here is perhaps to use something like bone broth, homemade bone broth, using free-range meat, bones, chicken or beef or mutton, and to make a good nourishing bone broth with lots of nutrients, good veggies in there, cooked with love. And to use that whenever you feel hungry. It'll give you the minerals, it'll give you a whole lot of other nourishing nutrients as well as collagen. And that can be very supportive as part of the regroup. Drink enough water. And number 4, water, filtered water, and add your minerals to that. Try and straight away reintroduce your apple cider vinegar. Perhaps that'll help also with hunger. It'll also help for you to lower the glucose spike after main meals or any meal, really, if you have that before you eat. So there are 5 tips that you can try for the next few days. Number 1 is just to get over it, put it down, and to move on. And actually move. Go for walks, go out, do some breathing, do some yoga, do some dancing. Number 2, enough protein. Number 3, make a bone broth. Number 4, your water with your added concentrated liquid minerals or your Himalayan salt. And then number 5 is to add your apple cider vinegar throughout the day before meals. Appreciate your body as you go. Thank your body for carrying you so beautifully. I mentioned it in my last video, and I'll just mention it again. There are some really extremely challenging energies around between Mercury retrograde, which seems to make communications and things go a bit backwards, as well as the other planets that I mentioned in my last video, plus some solar flares, plus it feels like a whole barrage of different things that are really pushing up a whole lot of tricky emotions for many people. It might be grief, it might be frustration, it might be fear, it might be self-doubt, and whatever is showing up for you at this time, look at it with compassion for yourself and patience and kindness. Try and find some kind of a routine that will feel supportive for you, that will feel calming for you, maybe breathing. Speak to somebody if you're feeling alone and isolated. Try and go barefoot on the grass, like there's grass behind me, and I stood this morning with my bare feet on the wet grass after the rain. Just imagine you are discharging all of this charge that you are feeling and carrying into the earth with a big exhale. Find some place where it's spacious around you, where you can just connect with nature. You know that I often mention that as well. So being in a place where you feel like there's enough space to breathe, and then refocusing on your eating and the nourishment that you get from food will help you to just regroup. Within a few days, things should feel back on track. Thank you for watching, and I will share some more with you in the next day or two.